Today we're making one of my favorites, tuna noodle. Super simple, super cheap, super high protein and healthy. So let's get started. First things first, we got 168 grams of medium egg noodles in here. Get these on the burner. And to that, we go in with 1 can cream of chicken, 98% fat-free. I think that is, yep, 98% fat-free. That's our thickener agent. Get that in there with it. And then we're gonna add 3.5 cans worth of water. I got measured out here. It's about 35 ounces. Give that a little stir. Like to get it broken up before we add all our seasonings. But it doesn't all just stick to the cream of chicken, which is pretty thick. And that's what gives this tuna noodle thickness. Okay, I got that kind of broken up. And we're just going on medium heat. We're going to do this at a medium simmer. Then, time for our seasonings. So, first up, we got the garlic powder. All important garlic powder. And we go about 2 tablespoons. All the full written recipe down below, along with calories and macros. About 2 tablespoons. I've made this so many times I can eyeball it. Oh, we got the cat making a cameo. You gonna come in, Dasharoo? Huh? Probably already had dinner. Out here in the trees. About a tablespoon of onion powder. Then about a teaspoon of salt. All important flavor enhancer. Well, come on camera then, bruh. It's got a lot to say always. And then about 2 teaspoons of black pepper. That's to your tasting. I like a lot of pepper, but I also add taco sauce in at the end, so however much you like. All right. Get all that in there. And the reason I mix it in a separate bowl is in case you overpour it. If you're using measuring spoons, not a big deal, but it's happened before when I do it over the pan. You're like, oh shit. Give that a nice little stir. And this is super easy to make, super fast. You know, it's all pantry ingredients. This costs like $1.80 a serving if you buy all the stuff at Walmart. And then in with 4 cans of chunk light tuna, which is skipjack tuna. And so the great thing with skipjack tuna, people say, you know, don't eat so much tuna all the time and it's high in mercury. Well, that's the albacore tuna, which is the more expensive tuna that comes typically much more solid too. This stuff's already almost pre-flaked. You have to do very little flaking usually. And skipjack or albacore comes in much more chunky bits and it's more expensive. And so the deal with tuna is the longer a fish lives and the bigger it gets, the more other fish it's eating. There's mercury in the ocean. And so tuna eat other little fish. The more fish you eat, the more mercury they has. So skipjack don't live that long, like 1 or 2 years. So they're much smaller fish, so they have less mercury levels. Versus albacore, live a lot longer, get a lot bigger. That's why they have a lot higher mercury. So not only is it cheaper and easier, it's healthier. Win, win, win. See it right here, chunk light tuna. Win, win. Super high in protein. I love it. And that's in water, not oil. You can get the oil if you're making tuna fish sandwiches. Basically hardly need to add mayo. But I like the light in water, especially for this. You don't want to use oil for this. So now that we got that in, just let it bring it to a simmer. We cook it for about 20 minutes. And about 5 to 10 minutes before you're done, depending on how tender you want the onions, I add 1 cup diced yellow onion and 1 can of green beans. I chop them up into a little more like bite-sized pieces. Just get some greens in there. Or I do peas sometimes, broccoli. There are no rules. Make this yours. The world's your oyster. So I shall see you in about 15 minutes when we bring this to a nice simmer and get our noodles nice and tender. Simmering along nicely, thickening up. Got about 5 minutes left. So I'm gonna dump in my onions. Like I say, 5 to 10 minutes, depends on how soft or crunchy you want them. I like a little crunch. So about 5 minutes. Cup of yellow onion in. And then green beans. Getting grains in. And of course, it started to rain on me out here in Washington. Middle of summer, of course. You never know. But it ain't stopping me. Ain't raining on my parade. And tuna noodle's perfect on a rainy night. So we'll give that 5 minutes, and then we eat. Got it all plated up here in the bowl. Some hot taco sauce. I like a lot of hot taco sauce. And then some fresh chopped jalapenos. And of course, some potato sticks to add textural crunch. These are all optional toppings, but hey, you know, mix it up, make it yours. Put French fried onions on there, whatever you want. Of course, it's going to change the calories and macros, but so here we go for a bite of everything. I love all the textures in there. Spice. Say super high protein, super cheap, $1.80 for a bowl. That's fantastic. Until next time, bye. I'm hot by the sailor man. I'm hot by the sailor man. I fight to the finish.